All right, let's dive into the 2026 investment strategy from one of India's heavy hitters, Motilal Oswal. We're going to break down their top stock picks and, maybe more importantly, get into the why behind their choices. Let's get straight to it.
It's the question every single investor is asking right now. As we look ahead, where are the real opportunities hiding? Today, we're going to explore that very question, using Motilal Oswal's expert analysis as our roadmap.
So before we get to the juicy stuff, the actual stock recommendations, we have to start with the big picture. Any smart investment plan is built on a solid foundation. So let's first get a handle on the macroeconomic landscape that Motilal Oswal thinks will be shaping the markets in 2026.
What's really interesting here is how they're building their forecast. They're not just looking at one piece of the puzzle. Nope, they're connecting the dots between what's happening globally, what's going on here at home in India, and how all those trends trickle down into specific industries. It's this complete 360-degree view that forms the basis for everything else we're about to see. Okay, so now that we have that 30,000-foot view, we can start to zoom in. This is where we start to pinpoint the specific sectors where the real action might be happening.
And no surprise here, first up is the tech sector. Of course it is. The engines for growth here are just massive. You've got relentless progress in AI and this huge wave of digital transformation that's hitting basically every industry on the planet. The companies leading this charge aren't just growing, they're literally rewriting the rules of business.
Next on the list, banking and finance. The key word here is health. The sector's financial health has seriously improved. Banks have cleaner loan books. That's what strong asset quality really means. And other financial companies, the NBFCs, are seeing explosive growth in things like personal loans. It all points to a really stable launchpad for growth.
And then there's telecom. Look, the 5G rollout isn't just about getting faster downloads on your phone. Think bigger. It's about a whole new ecosystem of services, a whole new digital world built on top of that technology. That expansion is a massive, massive opportunity.
All right, and let's not forget the backbone of the economy. Think about the physical building blocks of growth. You need cement to build things, you need specialty chemicals to make things. These sectors are getting a shout out because of their steady, reliable demand. They're a classic, crucial infrastructure play.
So we've gone from the big picture economy down to promising sectors. And now, for the main event, the part you've been waiting for. Which specific companies did all this analysis lead them to?
It all comes down to this, doesn't it? It's about finding the companies that are in the perfect position to catch these big waves of change. So, who made the cut? And here they are, the top 10 picks for 2026. As you look through this list, you can literally draw a straight line from the sectors we just talked about. You've got Bharti Airtel, which is the obvious play on 5G. You have State Bank of India, which shows confidence in the banking sector's strength. And of course, you see JK Cement tied to infrastructure and TVS Motor, tapping into that strong consumer demand. It's a really diverse list, but each one is targeting a very specific driver of growth.
But hold on, a list of stocks is just a starting point. It's not the whole story. Knowing how to actually approach investing is every bit as important, and that means understanding strategy. And, this is huge, being very aware of the risks.
So here are the two main ways you can play this. On one hand, you've got a systematic investment plan, an SIP. That just means you invest a fixed amount of money on a regular schedule. It's disciplined, and it helps you average out your purchase price. On the other hand, you have a lump sum, which is just putting all your money in at once. Now that could give you a higher return, but only if your timing is absolutely perfect. And let's be real, that's a massive if. Okay. And this right here might just be the most important slide of the day. Please, really let this sink in. These stock picks are based on some serious expert analysis, but they are not, I repeat, not guarantees. You have to think about what you're comfortable with when it comes to risk. You need to know how long you're planning to invest, and you must always remember the golden rule. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify, diversify, diversify.
So, to wrap it all up, what we've seen today is a really clear, logical funnel. It starts super wide with the big picture economy, then it narrows down into these high potential sectors, and finally, it lands on specific companies that are perfectly positioned to ride those trends.
And that brings us to the final question. We've laid out Motilal Oswal's entire framework for you. So now, the ball is in your court. What's the one single insight from all this that's going to really shape your plan for 2026? Definitely something to chew on.